And we are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports. My mic was muted. But we are live as LSU is down 6-0 against Northwestern State in a very piss poor. Let's just call it what it is. Piss poor as Cade Doughty flies out to the catcher. Just piss poor. Didn't want to come to play. Hey, we're LSU. We can just waltz our happy asses out there and beat Northwestern State. And Northwestern State is shoving it right up their ass. Midweek games don't matter to some, but they prove you a lot. They can prove a heart of a team. That's not all we'll be talking about. I see a lot of the comments. Yes, we did kind of break it today about Major Burns. We were told about an hour before that he was going to release his commitment, that it was going to be official, that he was doing it today. We gave out the little bit of the hint, and then Major Burns, the safety from Louisiana, from Baton Rouge, is committed to the LSU Tigers. He does take the 25th spot for LSU. I wonder if it is going to be the last spot. Now that teams are going into this blue shirt, gray shirt rule, it might be. But regardless, LSU has picked up Major Burns. A lot of you are going to remember a story. We'll talk about that. What does it mean for LSU? What is LSU telling you by getting Major Burns into their program? We'll talk about that as well. With that addition, not saying that Major Burns will make them a top 20 defense nationally, as Gio DiGiacomo grounds out to the pitcher. So we'll be at the top of the seventh. Still 6-0 for the LSU Tigers. I think that this LSU defense can be top 20 nationally. They have that kind of talent. We'll break that down as well. And also, as we do on every Tuesday, hashtag Ask Blake, we ask, or we talk about every single one of your questions, like this one right here from Blake Schilling. He says, hashtag Ask Blake. FanDuel, LSU 1.5 at UCLA. Excuse me while I get rich. Yeah, and I know that Josh Pate, the guy from 247, messaged us on YouTube in reference to that. I still think it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to have LSU at 1.5, but it's not gonna stay there. It's not going to stay there. So we'll get into that as well. But, guys, now that we have this commercial break from LSU baseball, let's pay some bills around here. We'll get to all your comments. We'll continue to talk Major Burns and LSU baseball and such. But we got to talk about our good friends from Believe Podcasts who sponsor all of our podcasts, and we appreciate every time and everything that they do for us. And we got to thank our good friends over at GM Varno & Sons. GM Varno & Sons has faithfully been serving your Denham Springs and Baton Rouge area for over 62 years. With their highly trained technicians, there's absolutely nothing that they can't do. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. Give them a call today at 225-664-9992. That's 225-664-9992. And tell them your good friend, Mr. Blake Ruffino at AYS, sent you on by. And our good friends over at Bet Online. Guys, it's coming down the pipe. We're going to be having mobile betting in the state of Louisiana. Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way for you to bet on all your sports action. Bet Online has you covered for all the news, scores, odds, and updates. It's the best place for you to go, and it's free to sign up. Head on over to betonline.ag and use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus. Again, that's betonline.ag, betonline.ag. All right, as Trent Vittmeyer, the senior, comes in. Look, LSU gets Major Burns, a big time commitment. Everybody. If you don't remember his commitment, we will talk about that. If you remember, he was committed in 2000 and I guess that would be the 19 class, right? Yeah, the 19 class. No, that'd be the 20 class. He was committed to the 2020 class. Jordan Birch was the guy that came in. LSU thought that they were going to get him late. There are a couple of guys that LSU thought that they could add to their roster via recruiting, and Major Burns, unfortunately, was a guy that LSU thought that maybe they could cut loose. Now, I know that some individuals are going to say that maybe it was some former coaches that did that, but regardless, LSU cut Major Burns, and he did not. He went to Georgia instead of LSU. Now, I've been very vocal, very, very vocal about LSU and other schools doing this. Guys, they cut a kid loose that didn't need to be cut in the first place. We are lucky that Major Burns hit the transfer portal and is now coming back to LSU. Good on LSU for making that wrong now to a right. Major Burns is a guy that I think that is going to be able to push for that safety position, a safety starting position. He has the talent and he can cover. He's got some defensive tenacity that I really like. He's going to put his hands in your face. He's going to get in your face and he's going to hit you. He's a smaller kid, but that doesn't mean nothing. He's going to really want to punch you in the mouth. There's videos out there of him literally doing so at times when kids piss him off. If you're a defensive player, I extremely like when you have a nasty, tough, just grinding attitude, and Major Burns is that guy. Forget what 247 says. Forget what Rival says. Forget what the recruiting people say. Forget what I say in reference to it. When a kid has that kind of heart, that kid's going to, especially when he wants to be at LSU, when he grows up in Baton Rouge, it's a big deal, and he's going to be able to help recruit some of these kids in Louisiana that he grew up with. Major Burns is back to LSU as Vittmeyer gets a strikeout. So I really do like the addition of Major Burns a lot. Brandon Hollywood says, "What's up, Big Daddy? What's up, Brandon?" And I don't think, and Andre Anthony today, and we said this on the show last night, and I'm going to bring this up from Josh Beam 13 on Periscope. I do think that there's an interesting development going to be happening with Eric Gilbert. Andre Anthony said that, we're still coming. This isn't the only thing that we're doing. We're still adding guys. I think that Eric Gilbert is doing some things. I checked in on him last week. It looks like he's doing a lot of good things. He's still in Baton Rouge and looks like he might be on this team. He might be able to get himself eligible next season. He might be able to do it. Now, he's had some issues in the past, and we can't disregard those issues. We have to maintain those issues when we say this kid could be coming back. But I do think that Eric Gilbert is a kid that could find himself back on this roster. I think it's really doable. And I know that we talked about that last night, but since there's going to be, since there is this comment, we're going to bring it up. Jesus Christ. Oh, I thought he called that a ball. I honestly thought he called that a ball. BI, what's up, BI? He says, now I feel that we are solid at every position except O-line. Why do you feel that way? O-line is a position that unless you played it, I don't know if people really understand. Go pop in that Alabama film in the first half, go pop in the Florida film, go pop in the Ole Miss film, go pop in the Arkansas film. Where did they do bad in the later parts? Did they give up some sacks? Did they give up some pressure? Sure. I don't think O-line is an issue at all. Now, every offensive line coach will tell you, and every head coach will tell you, whether it be offense and sometimes maybe not as defense as much, O-line depth is always a big-time concern. Depth is, don't worry about the O-line. Go pop in that Florida film and then tell me how you feel. Go pop in that Florida film and then tell me how you feel. Because Florida's defense isn't getting any better. We had on Gator Dave last week, and he basically all but told you that defense isn't getting better. Defense is, look, Alabama lost a lot of guys. This O-line, and what's funny to me is that you have, I think it was we did the stat, and I forget. So bear with me. This isn't 100% accurate, but it was something to this effect. Of 150 snaps in 3 games, or dropbacks, I should say, for LSU, they'd only given up 10 pressures and 2 sacks. 2. And we're saying they're not dominant. Guys, I'm sorry. If you have 150 dropbacks, 10 pressures, and only 2 sacks, bullshit, that's dominating. Well, Blake, the quarterback, can scramble. That's what he's back there to do. He's not back there to be a statue. You want mobile guys because they're able to move. So I think that O-line is going to be okay. I truly, truly believe that. Brian Viator says, hope everybody's dry out. Stay safe, AYS Sports Nation. Yeah, you guys stay safe. We do, guys. Look, I said this last night. I'll say it again. I feel so bad for people in Baton Rouge, a girl I went to high school with. She just got married. Maybe about a year ago. They have a small little daughter, and her house is flooded. Just horrible, man. Horrible. And I think she lives in Baton Rouge. I'm not sure where she lives, but man, it's just crazy. Oh, never a dull moment in the state of Louisiana. And by the way, if you're going through a neighborhood, and there's water everywhere and there's rising water, don't be that jackass in the lifted truck that goes really fast and makes waves and shit. You're a douchebag. Okay? Like, I see all of these individuals with these elevated trucks, and I'm not saying anything bad about white dudes in elevated trucks. It's not what I'm saying. I like trucks. I like big trucks my damn self. But don't be a jackass. Don't be a Rudy Poo. Don't be a Rudy Poo. This is people's homes we're talking about. Kenny says Trent Ventmeyer is my next door neighbor. Okay. How about that? Well, he got LSU out of that horrendous ending. Juice Washington says, hashtag Ask Blake, does Jay Ward move back to cornerback now that we have Burns? No. Jay Ward needs to stay at safety. Jay Ward needs to stay at safety. Look, they're going to put him in the slot. I'll watch the spring game again this weekend. I'm addicted, y'all. I have an issue. Jay Ward, if you remember that first play in the spring game, was in the slot covering Ty Davis Price. So, and had a pass breakup. Actually, had 2 pass breakups back to back. No, I keep him in that safety position. I 100% keep him in that safety position and let everybody else fight it out for the other. Let Jordan Tolles, let Todd Harris, let Major Burns. And look, everybody asks me all the same questions. I go on these national radio shows. And Blake, is the SEC going to allow this one-time transfer? Yeah, they're going to allow the one-time transfer. How do I know that Major Burns is at LSU and Henry To'o is at Major Burns is at LSU and Henry To'o is at Alabama? That tells you all you need to know. You think Ed Orgeron's bringing on Major Burns and Alabama's bringing on To'o and they don't know that they're going to let these kids come in? Come on, bro. Come on. C King, what's up, C? He says, I'm just excited they got a chance to make this right. And he's talking about that with Major Burns. I completely agree there. Guys, there's nothing worse than a kid that's been committed to your school, the school that you cheer for, the school that you root for, and in this case, a school that we cover. When they cut a kid loose, the kid goes to an SEC team. That stings. That stings. Look, it's going to sting if TJ Finley, as Bianco draws the walk, it's going to sting if Finley goes to Auburn. Alabama is talking to TJ Finley. I'm just going to let you know that right now. Some of you know the connection that we have there to Alabama. I don't like those Rudy Poos, but we still have the connection. They are talking to TJ Finley. It would sting. It just stings. They did Major Burns wrong. Now they're going to put it on maybe some former coaches that were at LSU and references Major Burns shit. No, this all falls down on Ed Orgeron. Let's look. You guys know how I have defended Ed Orgeron. I've been called an Ed Orgeron homer. That's okay. That's fine. But that was Ed's fault for letting that happen. Like, let's not get that twisted. It was good that they're able to make this right, and I'm glad that bridge wasn't burned down enough where it couldn't be rebuilt. Sometimes relationships and bridges get burned, and you have to build and build and build. And look, Major Burns is going to be a guy that can come in here and push for a starting job. Now, how does this affect Sage Ryan? I don't think it really. Sage Ryan doesn't give two Rudy Poos what anybody else is doing. He's just that talented. But what does it do for a guy like Todd Harris? We'll see. LSU told you where their weak spot was defensively, and with their confidence level defensively, getting Major Burns, guys, it's their last spot. It's what, and even much so, even more than O-line depth, more than anything, they take Major Burns. Think about that. Their last spot has been for positions of need. Look at the transfer portal. They got Darren Evans from Nichols. They got Joe Burrow, Cole Tracy, all positions of need. They are telling you what their position of need really is. They don't trust Todd Harris. They don't trust Jordan Tolles right now. They go and get Major Burns. It is what it is. There's 1,600 kids in the portal, and they pick Major Burns, which, by the way, what a hell of a name. Major Burns. LSU's got some great kids with some great names. That's for damn sure. Kenny Russell says, Blake, with the addition of Major Burns, I really like the quality and depth at safety. this group should rebound quite nicely. They should, and I would not expect for this team to for all those guys to be there. I'm not telling Todd Harris what to do. I'm not. And look, here's another thing. Rodarius Jones moved to safety. Guys, Rodarius Jones had a damn good spring game at that safety position. They even moved Ray Jones over there. Who Ray Jones? So they got a big safety position. It's interesting to see what Durante Jones is doing there. And quite honestly, why I do think that this group, and we're going to talk about this, and I think we're going to talk about this ad nauseum tonight, why I do think that this defense, I'm not going to say that they will be top 20 defensively, but they have the potential. They certainly have the potential to do it. It is by far going to be, I was asked today on the Jordy Holberg show, which one I want to pick. Do I want to pick offense is going to be more improved or defense? Well, it's hard to pick offense in that because in the last two games that we saw LSU offensively, they combined in both games over 80 points. One had 30 and the other than they had 50. Guys, I mean, shit. How can you be more improved than 80 points in 2 weeks? Defensively, they were 104th in the nation. And if they can even get into the top 50, that's drastically better. Guys, if LSU just from last season alone goes from 104th, all the way up to a top 50 spot, even to the top 20, you're talking about a team that at minimum will be 10-3, at minimum. Not saying that they are, but they do have that potential. So that's why I think that this team, with the talent on all three levels, D-line, linebacker, and secondary, they can be there. We trashed, and Alabama fans trashed the ever-living dog shit out of Pete Golding last year. They were number 16 in the country when it comes to total points, total yards. Yeah, they had a couple games like Ole Miss where they gave up 40+, and then they had games with Mississippi State and others where they shut people out. And there's a reason why Nick Saban said, is that going to be an error? Is that going to be a run scored? Yeah, it is. Bianco's going to score it. Damn. He came in like a wrecking ball. Hashtag Miley Cyrus. Jesus Christ. He came in like a wrecking ball. Bianco plays so hard, bro. People hate Bianco, dude. I love the way that dude plays is contagious. It's contagious, man. Look at him. Look at him come in right here. He came in like a wrecking ball. Bianco, okay. We see you. So I do think that they'll be, if you're there, you'll be top. Look, if LSU is a top 10, 20 defense nationally with the offense that they're going to put on the field, guys, they're going to be very tough to stop. Very tough to stop. This 2019 offenses don't just come out of everywhere. Yeah, you had one a couple of seasons ago, but Joe Burrow's daddy's not here right now. Daddy's just not at home. Daddy's got to go take care of business in the NFL. So we'll see. But I think that they have that potential. Tony Williams says, what about Evans from last season? Does he still have a year of eligibility left? Yeah, he does. He's still on the team. Don't know if he's going to play a lot, but he is still on the team. I mean, he's just got a lot of talented dudes in front of him. We'll see. I don't think he'll play. Alex King says, I wish I could bet on this rain stopping. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Jacob Cole says, LSU has some of the coolest names on a football team. Major Burns, Mike Jones, and Dakotas Crawford, who will be here next year. Fantastic. The coldest to ever do it. It's not just Dakotas Crawford. I know that's not his middle name. It's like Keith or something. Someone gave him the to ever do it, Crawford. But yeah, they do. Max Johnson. I mean, think about Max Johnson. I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole there. Think about what I'm saying. They got some major burns. Mike Jones. Joseph says, I hope Louisiana passes a sports gambling bill before the season. Yeah, it's going to be, I think it's on the table today. I think it was on the table today. And I think once it's signed, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be signed by the Senate, it's going to go to the governor's desk. And I don't think that the governor, I'm just going to stop that one right there, but it looks promising. And then if he signs it or when he signs it, it would go into effect July the 1st when the new fiscal year starts. So we can have a whole month before that happens. I'm going to tell you this. When and if that bill passes in the state of Louisiana, if people are racing frogs and it's bettable, I'm going to be betting it. If I got an edge. I'm just telling you. Eric Wright says, I can imagine how the Burns family soaking this all in. Hope his pops would love it. Yeah. Look, and I'm just gonna read this quote to you guys, or read this to you guys very quickly. So stand by. Because Eric said that. Hold on one second. Let me just say this. His camp was really excited today. I'm just going to read a text message, okay? I'm going to read a text to you guys about this. But this is what we got from his camp. It's official. Major is going to be at LSU. Tiger, go Tigers. We're really excited. That was the text we got a little before lunchtime, about an hour and a half before lunchtime. So they are really excited. So, Eric, we have the proof that they are, right? We have the proof that the Major Burns camp is extremely excited. And I'm happy for them. I'm extremely happy for them. They're pumped up, though. I'll tell you that. They're more than pumped. They're pretty ecstatic. It's official. When I got that text today, and we kind of hinted it on Twitter, and I got some people firing back at me because I called myself Nostradamus. Chill out. Kenny Russell says, it got passed by the House. It did. To be signed from what I hear, and +1 it did. We would be the very first state to implement name, image, and likeness. We would. And it would be great for Louisiana to be able to implement name, image, and likeness first. Because it would be in effect on July the 1st. LSU's working on it diligently, and other schools. I talked to a Southeastern individual today about it. They're working on it. This is going to that's going to be a base hit. Yeah, that's going to be a base hit. LSU 6-1. Zach Arnold gets a hit. So, look, all programs across the nation are working diligently on this. School colors is a big thing that they're going to have to work out. So, but yeah, they're working on it. It'd be great for Louisiana to do something like that. And I think that it's big if you're first. It's big if you're first. Regardless of what Ed Orgeron says about it and him saying he might not like name, image, and likeness, you can't convince me that man ain't going to be using it. Hey, we're number one. Come do it now. You mean he's not going to be calling these kids in June and July saying, hey, we're about to pass name, image, and likeness? It goes into effect. Booyah. Mosquito. Gotcha, bitch. Probably need to wash my hands. Probably got West Nile in my hands with all this rain. But he's going to be using that. Hey, guys, come make money. Don't tell me Ed Orgeron's not going to do it. He's going to use everything to his in his arsenal. Ryan Thibodeau says the only concern about the O-line is depth and experience. That's every O-line in the country. That's literally every O-line in the country. Name one that has experience in the SEC. I'll wait. LSU's the only one. I'm telling you. I deep dive in these guys. Ask my wife. When we put Ben down for a nap, Daddy's watching film. I'm addicted. I'm an addict, bro. I don't do cocaine and cigarettes and all that shit. But I'm an addict. It's just what I do. No one has experience on the O-line like LSU does. Let's go, Trey. Trey Morgan's up to bat. God, I love that kid. If I had to pick a kid right now to start a team with collegiately, it'd be that kid. God, I love him. Todd says our starting O-line should be one of the strengths of this team. I agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree with that, and I think they will. As new Hannon head coach Chris Garrett fires off and says, roll Tide, a big Alabama fan. First off, congratulations to head baseball coach of Hannon, Coach Chris Garrett. Coach, we really appreciate that. You should be watching some really good baseball right now. Well, it's not really good. As LSU's down 6-1. But congratulations, Coach. Josh Beam says, I think Jordan Tolles will transfer. I think he might be your starter out the gate. I feel bad for Todd Harris, but again, LSU is telling you their weak spot defensively. Durante Jones, what do you think Durante Jones had to sell to Ed Orgeron to get a safety? He didn't sell him. He didn't sell him anything. Ed Orgeron knew the wrong that he committed, and he made it right. He made it right. And you know what else that does? That brings a bond to your team. Guys wanted him. Andre Anthony talked about it today on Twitter. They wanted Major Birds on their team. They got him. Brings a lot of cohesiveness, guys. When you have these guys from Louisiana going into war with one another. Ryan Thibodeau says, yes, don't speed through a neighborhood. Yeah, you Rudy Poos don't speed through neighborhoods. Don't be a Rudy Poo. Don't be a Rudy Poo. God, aggravating. Mark says the U.S. Senate is working on name, image, and likeness for all states because the states all have different bills. They're working on they are doing a taxes thing on it, if I'm not mistaken, too. So, yeah, but they're working on it. And look, we'll see. We'll see. Ryan says frog racing. When I talked about bets earlier, hell yeah. If there's frog racing on betonline.ag, one of our main sponsors here, you're damn right I'm going to be betting on it. Bet on that bitch. We gonna be betting on it, dog. I'm just letting you know. If I feel that Rudy Poo the Frog is gonna be able to win a race, we betting on it. I'm gonna be betting on it right here on my mobile phone while I sip me some whiskey on my recliner watching some film. It's just gonna happen. As Josh Stevens sent us some stars via Facebook. Thank you, brother. We really appreciate that. We really, really, really appreciate that. That's going to be a bad throw. Runner's going to advance. Still 2 outs, but now you got ducks on the pond. Russ says, sorry, Bianco, but he talks about how Bianco loves how he plays. Yeah, man, he plays extremely hard. Extremely hard. Just full effort, full blown. I mean, dude, he came in like a wrecking ball. Hashtag all Miley Cyrus. I love the way that the kid plays, man. Joseph says the Tigers are on the board finally. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. All right, let's get to a couple more of these. Jason says, hashtag Ask Blake, I missed the first part of the show. Why did Major Burns decide to transfer? I don't know how much he was going to play at Georgia. I think he was homesick. He wanted to come home. Again, we showed the text message of when we got it earlier today that it was official. In my opinion, he just wants to play for LSU. He loves LSU. He doesn't want to be at Georgia. LSU made that right wrong, and it was a blessing in disguise. He goes in the portal. LSU needs a safety. They pick him up. They should have had the kid on the roster any damn way. Any damn way. Because you went in the transfer. What's crazy about this, not to dog Darren Evans. I don't mean this to dog Darren Evans. Get out of here, ball. Dylan Cruz blasts one in the right field. That's going to be gone. No. Oh, it's going to be off the foot. Oh, he hit that wall hard. That's going to score 2. And Cruz is going to be in the third. So it's going to be 6-3, the Tigers. 6-3 Tigers. I thought that ball was out of here. Yes, I do have some sniffles. David says, no, I think we slacked off a bit thinking we could just roll the ball out there against – yeah, I mean, they definitely slacked off. We'll see. I mean, look, baseball's a long game. Mark says 1,500th win for Pulmonary is looking bleak. Long game, man. Only down 3 now. Logan says Nick Saban puts tomatoes in his gumbo. Hashtag go Tigers. I bet you he does, that Rudy Poo. I'm going to table that one for another day. Maybe we can do that during the summer when we don't have much to talk about. Everybody, you know what? I'm just going to say it. You know what gets under my skin the most is when everybody says, Nick Saban wanted to go to the pros when he left LSU. No, he got caught making out with a lady underneath the bleachers. You Rudy Poo. You adulterer. He wanted to go. Bullshit. Don't let people lie to y'all, bro. Don't let people lie to you. Roderick says, Blake, I really think people are selling us low, but I promise this could be another special season with the pieces we have. I agree with that. I do feel a lot more confident than I did last season. Last season, I wasn't 100% fully sure that we were going to have football. I mean, I figured we would because of a money aspect and because, you know, Trump being Trump at the time. I'm not going political. Not going. Good, bad, or indifferent. Don't mean anyway because I'm not political. Don't give two Rudy Poos. Don't care. Don't care. Not saying that, but just some of the things that he'd said about sports made me feel confident we'd have it. Juice Washington says I deep dive ask my wife. Man, y'all get out of here with that, bro. You know I didn't mean it like that, Juice. Come on, Juice. Bro, Juice down here being a man, come on, bro. Pause, Juice. We talking about my wife. Pause, bro. Juice says I deep dive. Ask my wife. I did say that. I didn't mean it like that though, Juice. Come on, bro. You know I didn't mean it like that, bro. Juice out here. 4 inches of straight madness, says Logan. Probably so, bro. I'm the God. That's got me laughing. Whoo. That's funny. All right, let's take a quick break. A very, 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 very quick break. We'll get back to it, get to more of your comments. Put the hashtag Ask Blake in there so we can see it. Juice, bro. That's one of the best comments we've had on AYS, man. One of the best comments we've had. Because you got to go see my good friend over Mr. John Patton over at GMFS Mortgage. Guys, are you buying a new home, saving money on the mortgage that you have now, or even doing that cash out refi? The timing has never been better. Get in touch with John Patton from GMFS Mortgage today and save money. If you are looking to buy that new home, you've always been wanting to, and you've been looking for that great loan officer, there's nobody better than our good friend John Patton. 225-614-1234. That's 225-614-1234. Or go over to gmfsmortgage.com and look for John Patton. He will be there. GMFS, changing lives. And our good friends over at the Drake Law Firm, DrakeWilliamsLawFirm.com, DrakeWilliamsLawFirm.com, 985-386-7600. That's Drake Williams Law Firm. You got to get my boy Ryan in there. He's doing some great stuff. DrakeWilliamsLawFirm.com, DrakeWilliamsLawFirm.com. Juice, you still got me. Juice, bro. Come on, man. Can't be saying stuff like that, bro. Oh, Juice got me just crying over here. Blaine Smith says Madison Prep is a great football school. Burns coming to LSU should improve recruiting at Madison Prep. I agree with that. Ryan Tudor says hashtag Rudy Poo, the frog won by a toad. True. Man, we getting all day kind of jokes up in here. Logan, I see you comment. Logan on Facebook Live says hashtag Mad Max is greater than Brittle Brennan. Personally, I do think that he's a better quarterback right now than Miles Brennan. Glad to see I'm not the only one. Russ Forney says the only issue with state passing name, image, and likeness is it can still violate NCAA and cause ineligibility. How is that, Russ? As a former college athlete, still not 100% on board with it, takes away from amateur status. Well, let me say this. The NCAA is changing their rules. They're going to have to. They actually have supported name, image, and likeness from amateurism when this gets passed. They are talking with the feds and reference this. That's going to get passed. The day of us thinking the name, image, and likeness is not getting passed, it's just kind of an afterthought now because it's going to get passed. Every state's going to do it. The federal government's probably going to create a bill for it. Amateur status, though, for what? Because, I mean, look, this is just my philosophy. Just my philosophy. If you can go to the war and die for your country, and if you can go make money when you're 18 and you get out of high school, you should be able to make money from name, image, and likeness. You should be able to make money while you're in college. I mean, why not? I mean, shit, we have interns. We have stuff like that. I mean, we give them stuff. But they do still have to do an internship, but they could still go make money elsewhere. Especially when LSU's making $66 million from going to a playoff. Kim Mulkey said it best this past weekend. She says, look, I'm up here being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and that's fantastic, but I'm not a good coach without great players. And she's right about that. LSU football is nothing without great players. It's just the truth. So I don't mind it. And LSU and every university has reaped the benefits of this. Every university has reaped the benefits of making buku's amounts of money. My nose is running, man. As my nose is running. It is, man. No COVID. David says, Blake, did you see LSU projected number 3 in Ruston Regional to play number 2 FSU? I saw that. Blaine Smith, and what would be crazy is I think that they can win that regional. I think they win that. I mean, we know that they can win the regional. We know that they can beat Louisiana Tech. That's what the crazy part about it is. They beat them twice. And I think that they can beat FSU. Jeremiah Phillips says 1.5 spread versus UCLA. Man, that's disrespecting us. Yeah, it is disrespecting us. Look, I think Josh Pate or whatever he is, I don't know if he's the CEO, president of 247 Sports. Go look at the show from last night. He commented on it and said that he wants to talk about it. We'll bring him on. We'll debate it. It's disrespectful for him to have him at LSU at 3.5 or 3, whatever it was. It's a slap in the face, especially when your main marketing and recruiting is the state of Louisiana and the SEC. One of. So stop that. Stop it. It is a slap in the face. Don't let people telling you a 1.5 3 points LSU being favored. Guys, you're saying it's a possession game. You're saying that LSU squeaking out by 1.5 spread. LSU got 4-5 against Alabama in 19. Come on, bro. Come on. Blaine Smith says, hashtag ask Blake, if betting bill goes through, are you doing some spread segments? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because everybody will be eligible to do it, man. Everybody will be eligible in the state to do it. Why not? Yeah, hell yeah, we'll do it. We'll get Bet Online to give us some big-time bettors and guests. Hell yeah, we'll do it. David says, I bet the farm on that. Talking about them winning that regional. Hell yeah, they'll win that. They can win that regional, but not with play like this. I mean, not with play like tonight though. They're highly inconsistent. Highly inconsistent. Juice Washington, man, I got to be careful before I read this comment. Juice, what you talking about, dog? He says, "Hey, man, I know what I heard. I'm not. Look, I did say it. I did say it." Ryan Thibodeau says, gotta cut and clip that piece, Blake. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. Juice also says, so are the school paying kids or the kids just able to make money through their own money without punishment? They're able to make their money without their own punishment. The school's not paying for them. Yeah, the school's not paying it. And even so, the school is going to go into, look, there's going to be guys that's going to make money off this. LSU's going to get these kid sponsorships. I mean, look, it's going to be a free market. You know what the world is, or what the United States is supposed to be? A free market. So, but what amateurism does is you're telling that, hey, this guy can't go get free market or doesn't have free market status, so he can go to college for X amount of money. That's bullshit. Look, if we might sponsor a kid if they'll do it. You know, we'll sponsor a kid to come on here and be a guest. You know, I would suppose that a college kid that's not making a lot of money, doesn't have a lot of money. Hey, brother, come do a 15-minute segment. Here's $50, $75, $100, and we'll help these kids out. I mean, we're building a platform. We're building a business here. We'll do that for them if we're allowed to do that. I mean, I have no problem with that at all. None at all. Bring recruits on. Rod, I mean, look, and the crazy thing is that we're naive enough, before I get to Roderick's comment, we're naive enough to think that this shit's not going on already. Guys, it's already going on. You're just not calling it name, image, and likeness. That's the biggest part of this, that I think that people who say, I not really agree with name, image, and likeness, bullshit, you're okay with what's going on now. Guys, it's even worse right now. At least you're legalizing it. You got boosters giving money out the wazoo. Shit, what was it, 4 recruits or 3 recruits that signed with Alabama on National Signing Day, the early National Signing Day? Shit, JoJo Earl had a car he posted on Twitter. I know the Henry Toto one was fake because it was a joke, and I get that, but JoJo Earl legitimately posted a picture with a vehicle. And you're trying to tell me that this shit ain't real? It's worse now. Legalize it. You're not, you know, Senator Lindsey Graham said something to the effect of, it'll be a free-for-all. Senator Graham, I'm getting way too political, but I'm just saying, it already is a free-for-all. It already is. Cory Booker going out there saying some Rudy Poo stuff. I'm not going to get – that's the most political you're going to get from me. I got to stop getting political. All right, Roderick said – let's see. I missed your comment, Roderick. What'd you say? He said, Blake, what's the news on the possibility of the flip of the 5-star kid that committed to FSU? Which kid is that? I know the name off the tongue. Hold on. Let's look it up. I think it could be possible. Hold on. Let's look this up because his name's slipping my mind. Somebody give me the kid's name in the comments. Google. What's the kids? Let me say this. I don't know how possible it is because if I would want to know the kid's name, I think it's possible, but his name's slipping my mind. Jacob Cole says, I saw a graphic that had LSU getting blown out by Bama, A&M, Ole Miss, and Auburn. Well, they can STT DP. Let them believe that. They said that shit in 19-2. Screw them. Again, they don't know what they're looking at. Where do you have Ole Miss? If you're going to say Ole Miss is going to blow out LSU, then you sure as shit don't know what you're talking about. You sure as Auburn with Bo Nix. I'm gonna leave that one alone. C King, what's up, C? From Talking Tiger Sports, guys, go to his group. Not sign up, sign in. Join the group. That's what it's called. Join the group. Great content as always in that Talking Tigers Facebook page. He says Alabama fans don't wash their crawfish. Probably true. They don't purge them. They don't wash the dirt off of them. I mean, it's just like, never mind. I ain't gonna say it. McCall. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, look, somebody else might have that. Go check. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about the kid flipping. I'm just being dead honest. Ryan Thibodeau says the athlete pays for a scholarship 10 times over. No, I mean, the higher ones do, right? Like the higher ones do. Like the lower tier ones, not really, but majority of them do. I mean, you have 22 guys that will – I mean, you have a lot of guys that play. Guys, 50-something kids will play a lot – I say a lot of minutes, but meaningful snaps. And sometimes I call – look, people say that kickoff return isn't meaningful. Guys, you're down by a touchdown. You got to go down there and make a tackle. That's a meaningful tackle if you get it. It's very meaningful, especially if it's in bad field position for the opposing team. Punt coverage, the same thing. Same thing. Ask Cole Tracy if it means a lot. He only played 5 plays in that entire Auburn game, and he won you the goddamn game. He literally won you the game. Alex King says LSU still down 6-3 in the top of the 8 with 2 outs, runs on first and second to Northwestern State. That's going to be a strikeout. Nope. Alex King says most college athletes that are focused on school and their sport do not have the time to work a job like most of us did in college. That's true. Listen, I can tell you from a firsthand experience. This is what it was like for me at Southeastern. Wake up at 4:30, get to gym or get to a film study at 5:30. Then we sometimes we more than likely go work out around, I'd say 7:30, 7, 8, and then some guys that didn't have an 8 o'clock class, or if they did, they went to class, work out, shower, go eat breakfast, go to class, go from 9 to 2, then from 2 to 3, we go to the field house, get ready, kind of chill out for a minute, go to practice. Let's say practice from 3:30 to maybe 5:30. Study hall, if you had study hall after first semester. I didn't have study hall, but majority of guys do. So study hall from, let's just say, or then you go eat dinner. So you'd have study hall from probably 6:30 to 8, 7:30 to 9, something like that. And then you go home. Guys, it is a full-time freaking job. Full-time. So I get that they're paying some instance $20,000 worth of scholarship money, but they make it 10 times over that. Again, from an LSU perspective, when you get to the playoffs and make $66 million, I don't want to hear about and hear you complain about tuition money. Don't want to hear it. I'm not going to. Ryan says McCall is the F. Sam McCall says Jeremiah DePhillips. No, I hadn't heard anything. I can dig into it, but I haven't heard anything. Tony Williams says, I believe he just got 7-Up as a sponsor at that point. Who's that? I love 7-Up as a sponsor. I mean, they're not a sponsor right now, but I'd love it. I would love it. All right, guys, you know what? We're about 50 minutes in. Let's finish watching this baseball game. We'll be back tomorrow. Guys, we got some big news. All 117 of you. Big news. Stop what you're doing. Stop. Big news. Warren Sapp's going to be on the podcast tomorrow. Not bullshitting you. The Hall of Fame Warren Sapp, Tampa Bay, Miami, Warren Sapp is going to be on the show tomorrow. Really looking forward to him coming on. Got a lot to talk about. We can talk about Ed Orgeron, time with the Bucks, time with the Raiders. Where's football at now, in his opinion? It's going to be really fun. So Warren Sapp's going to be on the podcast tomorrow. Going to be so much fun. I'm so ready for that. So we'll just get ready for it. All right, guys, we'll see y'all tomorrow night with Mr. Warren Sapp. Y'all have a good night. Peace out.